Yeah,
popping out the chat.
All right, I turn the volume down. Starting a minute late, but it's okay. It's better than not starting at all, which we have had.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
And welcome to the stream. Already in chat is Sean Richter and USC president. What?
We might have to watch that person.
Oh, okay, yes. That makes more sense.
Hello.
What's up?
There we go. Are we on the air?
We are. We're just warming up the chat.
Let me pull that up.
Moving on. All right. Okay. We're posted everywhere.
Posted.
CW Graham says, go Trojans. Mr. Peabody wants to know if you changed your hair color, Adam.
Yeah, it's more of an red, you know.
Right.
It'll probably be more blonde by next week. You never know.
Depends on how long you see the time.
I tried shaving the sides of my head with that was not a good idea. So now I'm waiting for that Joe Dirt look to happen, but I don't know if I can do it. So we'll see.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. But, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a great song for the juke.
Hey, you're on the air.
I know. I'm gonna put it in the juke right now. I'm not gonna tell anybody what it is.
Toasty.
It's yeah.
So we get to play.
Wonder if it's owned by Sony Music because we'll get it banned in like 2 seconds.
Welcome, Jason.
Arcade Jason, what's up, Arcade? I can't call him an arcade nerd.
He got in all sorts of nice PCBs the other day.
I know. I saw he's building an ampliphone replacement board with like parts that he just had at home.
I think he's a little salty about that one. It did not work the way it was expected.
Oh,
I hope
no.
he got it. He talked to him earlier today. He said he's going to be working on it.
Yeah.
So what was wrong with it?
Working on it at the same time.
Chompy McChomperton.
I know pie position.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm Chomperton?
Yeah, you're chomping on something.
Ghost Lord.
Yes.
I think that's Mark.
What? No.
It's Mark now, but it was you.
I'm pretty sure it was me both times.
I'm eating like these little chick nugget things. They're
Yeah.
They're delicious.
I heard squishy things like. See, the best thing to do when you're on a podcast is eat. That's the best thing to do.
People love it.
Yeah, they just think that's the best. That's what I want to hear. Like, could you eat some celery? Because that'd be awesome.
Hold on, I'll get some celery. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Got some carrots. Hold on.
Good.
We're out of celery.
Oh, carrots.
We're going to try planting carrots in a pot. That's going to be fun.
And some macadamia nuts. Ooh.
Yeah.
Hey, Doc, I have a question. Where did you get your Holosseum?
The Holosseum I actually picked up out in... Let me think here.
I know, right?
I want to say that was shipped in from New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
Joyzy.
Nice. Was it already working, or?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Nice. It was.
I know a wabbit from Jersey.
Oh man.
Hey, how's the chat doing right now? Hey, chatters. It's good to see ya.
Many folks.
Christopher Graham's in the chat. Mr. Peabody's in the chat. Aaron Sanders in the chat. Arcade Jason's in the chat. What's up?
Okay.
Ghost Lord is in the chat. CW Graham, I already called you out. Pinball 1968. Ken W. Hey, good to have you in the chat. Jesse, welcome. Sean, welcome.
Billy 7.
Billy 7. Hi-oh.
Oh,
Hey, chatter, should we just roll it? I think we should. I think that'd be a good idea.
all right.
All right.
What's up, Doc?
Live from KOYR Studios in Minneapolis, Minnesota, this is Arcade Radio.
Hello, Commander. Computer reporting.
Intruder alert, intruder alert. A stimulating opponent.
Oh. Hello.
Yeah. Adam got a head start.
He's tired.
You know
We're
what's
done.
funny?
All right, thanks.
It's like super delayed tonight. So welcome to season 4, episode 16 of the Arcade Radio podcast. Today is Thursday, April 16th, 2020, and the time is approximately now 7:23 p.m. Central. Thanks for joining us in the Arcadosphere. This is your host, Adam Thanos. I'm joined by my co-hosts, Mark Time Runner Shields and Paradise Arcade Shop proprietor and occasional square dance champion Brian Thurston Owl Hermitage the third. I just ran out of air. Joining us tonight, legendary restoration champion and owner of the largest arcade in the world, the Galloping Ghost Arcade, ladies and germs. Why am I keep saying germs? It just sounds so derogatory. We now present to you
perfect.
Mr. Doc Mack. Thank you for joining us this evening, sir. So this is the part of
Thanks for having me.
yeah. Let me just interrupt you. Thanking us because that's like what a good host should do. So right now, this is where we talk about what we've been working on, and there's lots to do at home in your home arcades if you are in shelter in place. Is Texas shelter in place right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Except we call it shelter in place.
Shelter in place. Yeah. And how about Chicago?
Yep.
Okay. And so Minnesota as well. But I think there's a couple of states that are still like, wow, like Iowa's not actually shelter in place. Oh, we have jokes for those people. But anyway, let's talk about what you've been working on, Mr. Mark Shields.
Well, I picked up a Holocene myself, and it was in a barn in East Texas, 3 hours away. And a nice couple. It's funny, they were like, "We're moving into this barn, and this thing's taking up too much room." Like they were building it out and like actually putting in rooms. I mean, it was a metal building originally, so it's not like they were in some red barn where they had to kick cows out. And I got it home. It works. The only problem is there's an audio glitch where when it goes to play an audio sample, it plays like the entire sample in a quarter of a second. So there's some I see, with a clock that's screwed up somewhere. So I got to go figure that out. That's going to be fun because there's no manuals for this thing, no schematics. Whatever. I feel like there's going to be a lot of piggybacked ICs going on soon. Luckily it's JAMA, so I don't have to break my back trying to figure out how to get it hooked up. And that's what I'm working. I mean, I also have a Pong I'm trying to get going, and I'm trying to decide if I want to try to bring back the black and white monitor that was in it, which has collapse, or find another black and white monitor and just go, "Hey, I'm done." And then, because you can't even see the monitor, you just put the shroud up in front of it, and then it's back there. But what are you working on, Brian?
Let's see. Still doing the Roadrunner project.
Yes.
I finally got the printer up and working, so I was gonna I had the power brick powder coated, and so I was going to print Roadrunner and the fuse designations on there, scrape off some of the areas so that there can be ground, so people don't start freaking out about
It's not ground.
whether or not I'm going to have ground on the. Oh my God, there's no ground on there. But so I've been working on that. The printer cartridge came in today that I needed, and then I've started stripping down a Ninja Baseball Batman that I have. I got the artwork set in from Joe Zabo, and it is awesome. I actually have original art from Summit, and I gotta say the stuff that Joe did is way better than the original. I mean, just like it's not just that it's more modern or whatever. It actually fits the game better than the original art did that they released with that. So really excited to get that on there. It was a bags, and so we got rid of that because that was terrible. They did an M92 conversion over to Ninja Baseball Batman, and we're rolling. So
Nice. Okay.
that's the extent of my arcade projects. Adam,
Oh, you just got to me in time.
we timed it out.
Yeah, I mean, we were like, just wait for him to walk in with his shorts.
Yeah. I had to get a snack and a refill. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I've been so I did touch up my Tempest side art, and I rearranged one of the rooms downstairs so that it's really comfortable to move around in, and you can see all the sides of the arcade games. So the Atari room currently has Tempest, Star Wars, Dig Dug, Missile Command, and soon to have either Centipede, Millipede, or APB. I haven't decided. And then I've got Asteroids Deluxe Cocktail, which, incidentally, Brian, are we going to talk about in gadgets or?
Oh, we should talk about that. That's big news. Yeah, We'll bring that up in gadgets.
All right, cool. And so Doc, why don't you tell us what you've been working on?
Just been starting to think about a backup for the Monday Mystery game. So we have one that we're trying to put out. I really want to put this specific game out on Monday, but I'm not 100% sure that's going to be what we go with. So I got to get a backup ready. And aside from that, I literally just finished testing the last all 763 machines at the arcade. So I have a massive list of just going through one at a time and adjusting all the audio levels and monitors and every button, every joystick. So it's been keeping me busy.
Any surprises while you were going through that? Like, oh, what's happening here?
I've noticed that there's surprisingly a lot of amps out, like audio amps, which we've found a bunch that were turned down. I know our old tech that we had was always adjusting volumes and stuff, which I'm not a huge fan of anybody adjusting those but me. But so it's a lot of just turning up, and just surprisingly, it's hard to always, with so many machines, it's hard to notice like, oh, that's the one that's not putting out sound right this second. So. But everything else has been, we kept on top of everything. So it's just a lot of minor cabinet adjustments and nothing too surprising.
Nice.
Well, I guess the interview's over. It was really nice talking to you.
All right. See you later.
Yeah. Well,
I can't even imagine 763 machines and having to go through. I mean, like, I have a hard enough time keeping 40 or 50 of mine going at a time.
Right.
Well,
It just seems like insanity.
They've been running for so long. Most of them are just good to go. I think it's a lot of I'm more anxious to see when they're all fired back up to get back on the regular time schedule of running for 17 hours a day, if that's going to see stuff drop out.
Sure. It is crazy. Well, I'm going to move on to the next segment, which we love. And all of our listeners love it too. Because each week we bring you...
It's the Arcade News with Adam Stevens.
Ah, that's me. So, yeah, we've got a couple of news items. Actually, we don't. We only have one news item today, and it's riveting. I want you to know. From 9 to 5...
It was either this or a whole bunch of... Arcades are now renting out their games to people at their home. Literally, that was like 40 stories, and then I was like, nobody cares.
Right now, we don't. It's hard to find news articles that at least interesting things, because nobody's doing anything. Nobody's releasing anything. Nobody has, So anyway, 9to5toys.com celebrate Pac-Man's birthday with a brand new arcade miniature console. A set of machines and a miniature console. So with its 40th anniversary looming, Bandai Namco is teaming up with a series of brands to create some celebratory Pac-Man arcade machines. As you may or may not know, Pac-Man was born on May 22nd, 1980, and quickly became a gaming and pop culture phenomenon. So, first up is a new tabletop Pac-Man arcade cocktail replica from Tiny Arcade, described as the world's tiniest fully functional licensed retro game. So, Super Impulse's Tiny Arcade lineup is expanding with a new Pac-Man tabletop. This cocktail-style machine measures out at 4 by 3 by 2 inches. That's like that big. So, and it's fully functional, which is not a difficult feat since they've already recreated these boards and put them into their little whatever size ones, right? So, and they want $22 for Prime shipped. So the other thing is Super Impulse has created a brand new handheld Pac-Man arcade machine known as the Micro Arcade Pac-Man. This credit card sized handheld plays just like the iconic full-size version with hundreds of levels and digitally modified audio to accommodate the tiny form factor. So I don't know. Does that make a difference? I don't know. Did they put a speaker in there? I don't know.
It's crazy. I mean, it's still like as thick as a credit card, and somehow.
Yeah. So it's like a greeting card speaker. So
yeah, it's sort of like thumbing your nose at the 80s and going, "Look what I've done."
Yeah, and you'll all, if you buy it for $15 Prime shipped, it will you'll play it once and put it in a drawer and
in your wallet.
About it.
No, you'll put it in your wallet and then you'll hear a crack one day.
Oh.
I did boot Tyler off the iPad last week, and we have those like little upright cabinets sitting around the living room.
Yeah.
And I went in there and found him playing Pac-Man several times on this. Like, I mean, we have this arcade downstairs, and he's playing Pac-Man on this game like this big on the couch. Evidently, that didn't count as a computer screen for the weekend.
Somebody is just waiting for me to play this. So you put it in your wallet, you hear it crack, and then you hear right? Okay, lastly, there's a Bandai Namco Arcade Blast micro console. Designed to allow gamers to relive their favorite classics, it features 10 built-in titles, including things that you've paid for over and over and over again. Pac-Man, Pac-Mania, Dig Dug, Galaga, Galaxian, Mappy, New Rally X, and more. In case you want to buy it again on something else, because why not? It features a wireless HDMI dongle. Dongle. And it plugs directly into your monitor display and is powered via USB. So the mini Pac-Man arcade machine will also include an ergonomic 6-button wireless gamepad in the package. Now that's actually a brilliant idea, right? You give everybody these tiny little things. I'm in my late 30s, and my hands get cramped up playing these little games, So, I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, my arthritis flares up.
You have arthritis?
I'm fine.
Yeah?
No.
You don't?
My thumbs crack. I don't know why. Like when I move my thumbs like this, they make crack noises. Is that a thing? I don't know.
It is a thing.
Oh man,
You're in trouble. 5 more years, it's just gonna hit.
all right.
Yep.
Nice.
But yeah.
How about what's up in gadgets?
Oh, let's do the gadget segment.
I always felt that the true stars at Atari was engineering.
Oh, you're an inventor.
Yes, I am.
What have you invented?
A lot of things.
Like?
Like a lot of things. Like things that you've heard of.
Like?
Well, things that you will have heard of, okay? Patents are pending.
Arcade Gadgets with Brian McLeod.
Welcome to the gadgets section. So we've got a couple of interesting things going on today. We'll start off with some stuff I've been working on, and then we'll finish off with kind of a really fun announcement from some guys on KLOV who are doing some neat reproduction stuff. So first thing that we've been working on is we've actually been noticing a lot of monitor boards are missing or having problems. And so we've been like very quickly recreating these remote boards for monitors. And one of the interesting things that we've seen with these is when we're putting these onto monitors with the new pots, it's actually cleaning up the picture just by doing this. So we're doing cap kits, rebuilding monitors for some of the local barcades, arcade bars, right? Not barcades. That's over in New York.
Trademark.
Out in LA.
Trademark New York.
Jeff is going to start my phone's going to blow up from Jeff. But anyways, we've been noticing that just replacing the remote boards is actually improving the picture. And so as part of the repairs we've been doing on monitors lately, we've been adding these in. We don't have them for all the monitors yet, so we're quickly adding them on. We did U2000, U5000, and 7500s are here. We have 7400s and K7000s on the shelf. And that's been a lot of fun. So
is that because the pots wear out? Why is it the picture's better?
You know, so I think it just has to do with the pots wearing out and people having to replace them. And at this point, the cost of buying the old pots to fit onto the board is about the same price that I think we sell a remote board for. So, yeah. And when we do them in repairs, we're usually just throwing them in as part of the repair cost. So you can deoxy the old pots. That does help sometimes. And we've tried that on some of them. And we've ended up replacing a number. Basically, at our end, we're just replacing them.
Yeah, I tried deoxiding my Pong pot, and it was not having it. Put it back together and everything. It was like, no.
It's been an interesting project. The other thing that we're working on, I will show quickly here, just the board. I know I talked about this the other day, but I had some fun with the printer today. So these kits are getting closer to being done. So hopefully we'll be doing chicken shift kits very soon. I ordered some sockets in because I need 1,400 of them for these boards. Ugh. And Sam's going to be busy.
Oh, man.
So
my wife has no idea. Oh, you're Sam. Right. Okay.
So the other thing that is actually really exciting and really, I was very excited. I got an email from the Synvectron guys. Have you guys heard of this? Do you know what this is?
No.
Adam does. But
I do.
Being quiet.
Okay.
So,
I do.
Have you heard of this, Doc?
What's that?
Have you heard of the Synvectron?
I have not.
So these
You're
guys,
in for a treat.
these guys, it's really kind of cool what they've done. They basically are doing an FPGA board, but of vectors, and so it's supposed to be a drop-in replacement for a number of the Cinematronic games. And they've been able to, I'm trying to pull up the list here and I'm failing at doing it very quickly while we're on the show. So I'm just going to give up.
Well, maybe Jason can type him in. He'll know him.
What's that?
Maybe Jason Kopp can type him in. I bet he knows him off the top of his head.
He could probably type them in quicker than I can, but it's games like War of the Worlds, Warrior, Speed Freak, Ripoff. I mean, they've got a number of these games there. And then on top of that, so the really cool part about this is that they actually, there's a couple really cool parts. One, you can actually install these into an Asteroids or an Asteroids Deluxe. They're creating a switcher so you can switch between the games and the FPGA emulation, so you can add all these Cinematronics games. And the other really cool thing is they did the color versions of the games. So you can have color War of the Worlds. You can have color Solar Quest and Star Castle and all these things. So it's a really neat product. They've been talking about it for a while. They've been showing demos about it for a while. They've been teasing us for a while. And I finally got a request for payment in the last day, actually. So, and I had bought 3 boards because I thought, wow, I'm going to have 3 boards and I'm going to use one and stash one and who knows what to do with the other. And I'm already have Billy Seven and Adam saying, I'll take those extra boards.
Yeah, I'm super stoked because won't it be cool to have an Asteroids Deluxe that has the, with a switcher that can do Deluxe, Asteroids, and Lunar Lander, plus all the Cinematronic games. That will be cool.
And it'll give access to some games like Sundance, Demon, that people don't normally get. And actually, one of the games that almost no one has, QB3, which we'll play on there, which is a neat Rockola vector. And so one of the other really neat things, they really took into account some fun stuff on this. If you put it in an Asteroids Deluxe cocktail table, you can play 2-player ripoff with players on either side of the table. So they really kind of tried to think of a lot of different things and make this a really fun project. So really impressive. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's Cinevectron, Cinevectron. They've got a great website that doesn't list the games right up top. It probably is because my screen's squished down. But they show a lot of videos of what they've done. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
So, Doc, do you have multis in your arcade?
Nope. We have some 2-in-1s, but those are all original boards that we've custom wired to just switch the audio and video. More just a space saving measure than anything.
Okay. But like your missile command doesn't allow you to switch to super missile attack?
Nope.
Okay.
All original.
Well, that's original. You just add the kit that allows you to switch to the thing. Right?
Yeah. No glob or beastie feasty?
No.
Oh. Wow. Elitist. I like it.
To each their own.
Oh, do you want to fight?
Fight!
Okay.
Okay. No, I'm not going to fight you. First of all, I will lose.
My money's on Doc.
Yeah.
Clearly on Doc.
Well, exactly.
I'm going to win that $100 that Adam's going to owe Mark.
All he's got to do is punch me in the stomach and I'll be in the hospital. Doc's a nice guy. He wouldn't do that.
No.
Never.
That's why we're having him on the show. It's because he's a nice guy. Plus, he's still healthy, which is great.
So the question right now is, what time are we in?
What?
Yeah. That's your cue, Adam.
Oh.
It's your cue.
I cued you.
Okay. Oh, that's such a lame sound effect. Let's try that again. Let's try something more fun. How about never using that bumper again? And I got one. This is gonna be good.
Okay.
Are you just?
Who is your daddy and what does he do? No, that's not it.
Okay. No, that was not what I was going for.
Let's see.
But oh, yeah.
Back in '82, I used to be able to throw a pigskin a quarter mile.
Back to the cave with Time Runner.
Why are things so heavy in the future? Is there a problem with the Earth's gravitational pull?
Yes.
Welcome everyone to the Back to the Cave segment with Time Runner. That's me. Today's date will be. I guess our destination time is April 16th, 1984. So what was going on in the arcade back then? Gapless. A fixed shooter game. Yes, it was released by Namco in April 1984, a mere 36 years ago.
I gotta say, I love that game.
Do you? I like it too. It's surprisingly...
it's Galaga in reverse.
Right. It is a sequel to the 81's Galaga. Mm-hmm. In the U.S., a modification kit was actually released to change the name to Galaga 3, possibly to increase recognition, although there is no Galaga 2. Isn't that weird?
Well, the whole thing was convoluted because Galaxian was the original, and then Galaga came second, right?
Right.
And Gapless was really Galaga Plus.
Right. Or Galaxian 3, if you really want to be technical.
Right, but they screwed up. Either way, they screwed up.
But 3 sounds like, oh man, I totally missed 2, but now there's 3.
Yeah,
I felt the
where
same
do
way
I
when I
find
saw
it? Oh, it's so
when I first saw Super Pac-Man, I was like, what?
Right? I mean, I love Super Pac-Man.
Yeah, me too. It's actually one of my favorite games. Top 5. The player of Gapless controls a spaceship, lets you move vertically as well as horizontally. You are kind of trapped in an area like you are in Centipede. You shoot at swarms of incoming insects at flying formation, kamikaze dives. You can obtain power-ups. It's possible. It's actually possible to shoot 60 bullets at once.
But the coolest thing of this game, in my humble opinion, which is not in this copy, is when, like in Galaga, what's the thing you always want to do, right? You want to get your ship captured.
Yes.
That's the first thing you do in Galaga. You want to get your ship captured so you can free it and have double fire. And in Gapless, it's amazing. You have this like a vacuum cleaner sort of suction ray, and you can trap other enemies to shoot alongside you. So you trap these guys, and they sit next to you, and you could have 5 or 6 shots at one time.
How come that hasn't been done in a movie where you trap another ship next to you and then you start shooting people? I'm going to write the guy who's going to make the next season of Picard, and I'll make him write that in.
I actually
trust me. We'll go back and look at this episode. It will happen.
By the way, is everyone caught up on Picard? It was pretty good.
I enjoyed it. Now, did they do that thing at the very end? Not to do spoiler, but did they do that to fix what happened in the All Good Things?
I think they did because
got it.
It was pretty. Yeah, it was crappy. It was crapola, is what it was.
I see.
Yeah.
Doc Mack, Star Trek fan? Any Star Treks?
Nope.
No, none. Okay.
Well,
wait, Star Wars?
Nope.
Okay.
Mortal Kombat.
I'm a Godzilla fan.
Godzilla. Yes. Are you upset that they delayed that Godzilla with the girl from Stranger Things?
No, I'm all right with that.
Oh, okay.
All right, Doc. What is the original name of Godzilla?
Gojira.
I love you. Such.
All right. Nice. Well.
Yeah,
nice well
and so you love all the films, obviously. Yep. What did you think of the Chernobyl Matthew Broderick film?
I've never seen it.
That's interesting. It's actually
once and I don't remember it. So
it's super entertaining. I think it's super entertaining. And I guess I haven't seen the newest one. Have you seen the newest one?
I have not watched the newest one only because I paint Godzilla kits, and I'm saving it for a time that I have to sit down and paint. So
let me ask you another question. Did you have one of my most beloved 1970s toys? Was the Godzilla toy? I don't know who made it. Was it Tomy? But
Mattel.
Was it Mattel?
Fist.
Yeah, with the tail, they could. It was so cool.
You could kill people with the tail.
No, you moved the tail and his mouth moved. I mean, he's.
No, that's something else. I'm thinking of something else.
Oh, well. Anyway.
What about Godzuki? Are you a fan of Godzuki?
Literally, somebody just threw the complete series through our mailbox the other day. I walked in and there's a set of DVDs sitting on the floor. So
that's awesome. I would watch those. I would actually watch them now. I hated them as a kid, but I would watch them now. I don't know. That's kind of like me in the Pac-Man series. Chatters, did you ever watch the Pac-Man, the Saturday morning Supercade? Oh my God, they were so terrible, and I loved them.
I was so upset. I didn't think Pac-Man did not sound like Marty Ingalls. That was my problem.
Oh, really?
No, I mean I just felt like he had a different voice. They picked this old comedian
Oh,
guy.
yeah. You're in your mind, Pac-Man was not supposed to sound like
Marty
I do right
Ingles.
now.
Are you doing a Marty Ingles impression? 'Cause
No,
it's
I'm
not
just
very
talking.
good.
I'm just talking.
Oh, okay, I'm just checking.
He's just an old guy.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
I'm
Old
37
30-year-old.
years old.
Just a past due millennial. Anyway, could I ask you a question? What's in the juke?
What's in the juke?
Mark,
Hello,
why
ladies
do-
and gentlemen. Welcome. Welcome to What's in the Juke.
What's happening? Sorry.
I see a lady. Hello, lady.
I accidentally hit the cue from like 3 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah, don't do that. Welcome to What's in the Juke, where we will play a small portion of a song and hopefully not get banned. Like we've gotten banned every week. If you wonder where our last episode is,
it's
Sony.
Yes, Sony. Those mother truckers.
Okay. So, yes, we'll play a little portion of the song, and you can guess the song. You will get a half point.
Half point.
When I say song, I mean title. And if you guess the
Half
artist,
point.
you'll get a yes. If you can guess both together,
Full point.
If you don't know, fight it out. Here we go. There's 10 songs. Once we get through this, talk about. None of these are really hard rock songs, so.
Are we ready?
Ready. Everybody get queued up. Here we go.
You know what? I'm going to reload my browser because there's a huge delay tonight. I wonder if it's just because like everybody's on YouTube.
Ooh, Dolly Relford is on. My favorite runner. Nice.
Oh, that's cool. So Dolly's going to play tonight. Well, she usually does better than Casey. You know.
Okay.
I'm just saying. Kelsey has,
Kelsey Grammer.
Kelsey Grammer?
Hey, that's probably why we say that.
It's it's certainly why we said it in the first season.
Okay.
Until we figured out that his name was actually Casey, and then we still called him Kelsey because it was funny.
Yes.
But,
All
right. So we got the
Here
chat. Chat. Do you have what the heck just happened? I just lost the live feed. Where'd the live feed go? Is everybody still there? Huh.
I'm here.
I see you guys. Oh, Gojira. Oh yeah, you guys are the best. How do I pop up my chat? Well, whatever.
Hit the pop-up chat.
Well, it's the thing is gone. I don't even have an option to pop it out anymore.
I'll send you the link.
Here, I got it. That's fine. All
Okay,
right,
thanks.
so I'm reloaded.
God bless
You're
us.
reloaded. Everybody's reloaded, and
Are there any prizes?
Oh yeah. Tonight we're gonna give away keychains made by Mike Page, and we're gonna let the top two pick. Actually, we're gonna let all three of you pick a keychain. So tonight you could have a chance to win a marquee keychain. There's Tron. Can everybody see this?
That looks good.
Yep. So it's a 3-inch by 1-inch keychain. They're handmade. They are gorgeous. They have a lovely loop and this chain on them. So there's Tron, Sinistar.
Okay.
Yep. And Karate Champ. Oh, that's very apropos. Oh.
Yes.
And if I could hit the button, I would, but I can't. Defender.
Oh.
And we were just talking about Galaga. So those are your 5 choices. I'll hold them up at the end when everybody has, when we've tallied up all the points. So here comes your first clue. We're going to play a sample of the song. Here it goes. And now we wait for the delay to go by. So you need the song title and the artist for a full point. Either one will get you half a point. And Annie Ballman's in for Runaway. Casey's in for Bon Jovi. And that is the first. That's awesome. That was really quick. Wasn't that quick?
Full point.
No, it wasn't a full point. It was a half point for both those guys. All right. Here comes your next track. Oh, so that was Runaway by Bon Jovi, and we'll just play a little bit more of that.
She's a little runaway.
There you go. Okay, here comes your next one. Oh, this makes me want to like dye my hair blonde and curl it. I don't know why.
Dolly Relford is also in the same house as Casey. So. Nope, sorry, Casey.
Not Erasure. Not New Order. Not Erasure.
Nope.
Wow, that's crazy. Hero, Crime Fighter.
Oh.
We might have to give it to him for that. I want to. You're close, buddy. You are close. I'll play a little more. I want to go to the middle of the song. Crime Fighter. I want to give Crime Fighter a half point. He's the first one to get close.
I agree. Let me give you guys a hint. Total Eclipse. Oh, Metropolis. Boom. She's got it.
Well, actually, S1500 gets it.
Did he?
Yeah, he gets the actual song. It's Holding Out for a Hero.
Okay.
We're going to have to give Ryan the half point on that one. And that was not Bonnie Raitt. You're close, but Metropolis. Were you the first person to get Bonnie Tyler?
He was.
All right.
He did.
So that's awesome, you guys. You're on the board with
half point.
All right, so okay, here we go. The next track is going to be a difficult one, man. This is a hard one. I don't think people are going to get this. I'm going to go to the middle of the song, play a little bit more. Here we go. Oh my God. Alan Parsons, Crime Fighter, is in the game with a half a point, and he gets the track for a full point. That is amazing.
Full point.
Ladies and gentlemen, I did not think that was going to happen. I mean, that's pretty awesome, right? And Crime Fighter, welcome to the show. Okay. Here's your next track. Do you think they'll get off that one?
No. But that's okay. Let's see what happens.
I want to see what happens. I mean, people might know that. I'll play that first. Casey's like, New Order. Dave from Buffalo, Queen. You are exactly correct. And it is Dave from Buffalo with a full point for Radio Gaga.
Full point.
Nice.
That is really good. I'm just going to play the middle of that song a little bit here. You guys.
Good times.
KMFD. Really? Okay. All right. Here comes another difficult one. But here the year. Should we just tell them what the year is, Mark?
Yes, it's April 16th, 1984. Just like when Depths.
What a great intro. Yeah. I love it. Isn't that so good?
That is good.
It is 38 special Casey Ralph. The reason why I said Kelsey is because Casey and Relford, I mixed them up. But it is 38 special, and it is so 80s. Not Rick Springfield, but Hang On Loosely. My head is reeling. Don't wanna be with someone new, and so I go. Does anybody know what the song is? I can't believe they got 38 special, but nobody has the. It does not get very much airplay. You're correct.
It does not. But I mean, it was popular in 1984 of April. Everybody was on spring break, so maybe.
We're totally getting banned for this song.
Oh man! Again, Damn you, Sony.
And the song is actually Back Where You Belong. And I'll just play a little bit more of that. There you go.
Boom.
So, thanks for playing on that one. All right, next track. This one's a little bit more difficult for the intro because it's another set of drum beats and I'm talking over it. But it won't matter. We'll still get banned. I'm just like a DJ right now, right? It is Duran Duran, Casey. You're correct. You get a half point for that. Duran is very correct. Netropolis, I like the way you pronounce that, just like in Barbarella. All right, so
yes.
Union of the Snake is not correct. Bowie, New Moon on Monday is Ryan. Half point for Ryan and a half point for good old Kelsey. Okay. All right. So the next track is... This one's for Billy 7.
You jumped around a little, right?
I did. I'm skipping
in case
around.
Somebody gets confused about what just happened.
Casey just got Rick Springfield. It Don't Come Easy is not the song. All right, I'll play a little bit more of that. Here we go.
I'm going to give that to Casey.
Yeah, Casey. Gonna Love Somebody. Yeah, that's close enough. So he gets a full point in that one? Am I right?
Full point. He does. He's way in the lead with 2.5 points.
Oh, my gosh.
Tied in second is Crime Fighter, S15, and Dave from Buffalo.
All right, we got some keychains coming in your direction here. Doc, how you doing on these songs? Are you hanging in there?
They're not Zeppelin, but
no. Hey, you know what?
People know them.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, this one you might have heard on the show before. I'm only going to play the beginning of the song. If you don't get it, you're a loser. That's it. I'm not playing any more. Wow. Sorry. Okay, I played the same riff, but it is the Police, Casey.
Oh,
and
good job,
it is not Sting. It is the Police. And what song is it? Wrapped Around Your Finger. Casey gets both of those.
Oh, my God.
For a full point. All right.
Dominating.
I know, he's really doing it. Again, this is going to be the smallest clip we've ever played on the show. And here you go. There's not even a note in there. I mean, if you don't get this, you were not around in the 80s. Now, the funny thing is, Casey, you are correct. It is Thriller. And it is Michael Jackson. Oh, my God. He just clobbered that with a full point. Oh, it's like, all right, we should make this one worth 3. What do you think?
Yes. That way we'll get a second place person.
Okay, good. This next one is worth...
Casey. Tell Casey not to do this one.
Yeah, exactly. So, Casey, you're clearly winning. That was... That was Thriller by Michael Jackson. We all love it. Okay, and the last track of tonight. This is the 10th track, and worth 3 points. Okay, here you go.
Oh, God.
Yeti's in there with so they have to split it for 1.5 points. So Casey gets Van Halen. Wow, that lit up the chat. That's awesome. Okay, so half point for Casey, which really is 1.5 points. This one, and Yeti, you're on the board with 1.5 points.
Half point.
Okay, so how do you do that?
That doesn't help.
Full point.
So now we still have 3 people tied for second place.
We do?
That's 4. Yeah, but I mean, you have 5 things, right? So, what are we going to do about it? Crime Fighter, S1500, and Dave from Buffalo are all tied for second place.
Well, in my experience, okay, it's not going to work to play another tiebreaker because everybody just chimes in. So I think what we're just going to have to do is give away prizes.
All right, done.
All right, so Casey, you have a choice. You have Karate Champ, Defender, Galaga, Sinistar, or Tron. What do you want? Please let us know in the chat, and we will send you your keychain. Okay, he's going for Tron. So Tron is for Casey. Okay, and the next ones are for
Crime Fighter, S1500, Dave from Buffalo.
And they're all tied. They're all tied.
They are all tied. Crime Fighter got in first, then S1500, then Dave. If you want to say.
Okay. So Crime Fighter, you get to choose between Sinistar, Karate Champ, Defender, and Galaga. Let us know which one you want in the chat, and then we'll go from there. A roll of toilet paper. Yeah, we will give that away next. That will be the next thing we give away. Yeah. So Crime Fighter, which one would you like? You have your choice of Sinistar. Okay, he's got Galaga. All right, so Crime Fighter, you put that in the notes, buddy. Okay, and then we have
S1500.
He's next. Ryan. So Ryan, you get to choose Sinistar, Karate Champ, or Defender. So Ryan's going to let us know right now. He's a Sinistar Champ or Defender, and then who's the last person?
Dave from Buffalo.
Oh, Dave. Yeah. Okay. So Ryan has chosen Defender, so that leaves Sinistar and Karate Champ for Dave from Buffalo. So he gets Sinistar or Karate Champ keychain. And I have Ryan's. I have some of your addresses. Casey, send me your address, adam@RcadeRadio.com. I don't know why I haven't sent you a prize yet. Karate Champ for Dave from Buffalo. And that leaves Sinistar for, like, what, a third place person?
Oh, let me see. Do we have a third place person? We do not. We have two people tied for third.
Oh.
I'd just say carry it over to the next game.
All right, we'll do that. We'll carry it over to the next game. We gave out, a plethora of prizes tonight. So that's pretty cool.
3 people tied for third place.
Yeah, we have. Really? Oh my goodness! Yeah. I really want to keep this game going, but it's so hard because everybody just.
That's what she said.
Oh, that was pretty good.
Let's get to. Oh, wait, is there any voicemail in your Gmail?
Let me just check. Oh my gosh, there is. There is a voicemail. All right. Again, before we play this voicemail, please email me your info at adam@RcadeRadio.com so I can get these in the mail, along with the 3 pigs from last week. And we do have a voicemail. Let's see what that sounds like.
Thank you for calling 612-548-GAME. This is Arcade Radio. Please leave your message after the tone.
Hey, Arcade Radio nerds. I have to be super quiet, but I bet you can tell it's your buddy Bob. Bob Zarzadek, control panel expert and technician. And right now, I'm hiding out like a fugitive. Hey, you remember how I called from prison last week? Well, I just figured out how to bust my way out. Well, partially, you see. I'm up in a super bushy orange tree, and, the warden, he asked for volunteers to pick orange. Oh, man, I'm not sure why they have so many police dogs looking for me. I hear them right now. You hear that?
Is he on a cell phone?
Well, while I'm up here, I'm going to go ahead and give a shout-out to Doc Mack, biggest arcade on planet Earth, at least in this dimension. Hey, Doc, watch out, because there's a guy in Dimension 39, and he has like 900 games, okay? He's coming at you. Hey, so plenty of time to catch up, right? Anyway, you know what? I'm going to have to let you go. I see some people approaching here. I think that the groundskeeper can see me. I'm not sure what's going on. Oh, look. They're totally attacking the groundskeeper. Oh, man, that looks like it's painful. Wow. Hey, I got to go. I'll catch you guys later on the flippity flip.
I think he might have. Yeah, that's weird. He was super quiet.
Do we have any voicemails like last week? We had one. We had a good one. Do we have any in the real voicemail?
No, we don't. I checked. Nobody called. Well, actually, let me check again. It's funny you mentioned that because I was sitting here and I heard the phone ring, and it's my account, but I don't think we got any. I mean, we don't normally get any. We could invite somebody to call us right now, 612-548-GAME. You know? But that would just be rude. We have a guest here. We do.
It's time for the guest then.
Well, yeah, I don't see... Well, let me just check. Oh, yeah, I do have another one. I can play it for you guys.
Vehicle may have expired and should be reactivated to protect against the cost of repairs. If you have not responded to this notification, it's not too late. Please don't make...
I'm glad they called. They call so often.
They love you. There's no other one?
Let me just check. I mean, the voicemail is very unpredictable, you know. Okay, all right. Here. Oh, my name is There. Wait, I do have another call. Okay, this is new. Here we go. Let's.
Hello, my name is Hollis Owens. I'm the warden for the Suwanee Correctional Institution. We're a level 6 security prison facility for low-risk adult males in Live Oak, Florida. We understand that one of our inmates, Bob Zarzadik, I think that's it. Zarzadik, what is that? Foreign? Apparently this inmate has called into your voicemail. We need you to cooperate and tell us where he is. You won't get in any trouble if you comply. If you could get back to us ASAP with this information, our direct line is 719-266-2837.
Is that the Galaxy?
That's 719-266-2837. We're sending a squad car from the Golden Valley PD to assist you in case you're too busy to help us out. We're serious here, okay?
Well, that is hilarious. Whoever did that, I want to give them a gold star. That was great. So, Bob, if you're listening... Ha! Welcome, Doc. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Nice. I just unmuted us finally. All right, so let's talk COVID because that's super fun and everybody loves to talk about a pandemic and shelter in place and all that sort of thing. When did you have to shut down your business?
It was about going on 4 weeks, maybe 4.5 weeks, that we weren't able to allow people in. So,
all right, so everybody knows all these arcades have had to shut down, all these pinball parlors, everything. So, and you do have one of the world's largest, if not the world's largest, classic arcade. And that is just crazy, right? So your business is used to having regular traffic, and all of a sudden it's not. Tell me what the saddest thing of this whole thing has been from a business perspective and a personal perspective.
Well, with on the business side, it's obviously like the arcade is, it does well. It helps the other 5 businesses that we have, being productions, reproductions, the Gamma, the Garage, and Pinball. So that, as some of those are new, really kind of facilitates the other businesses. So having that down and all the rest, it's just so impactful to all of them. We've been in the middle of moving the garage. We've been in the middle of a very large expansion and just hitting the brakes on all that with all of our long-term goals that we're shooting for. It's just created all sorts of problems. On a personal side, I usually get to see that place full of people, friends. People are traveling in, and I know people use that place to get through tough times. And it's so hard for me to watch all the videos and get all the emails and messages about people who are like, this is where they would go when something like this would happen, because it helps them. It's comforting. Like playing all these arcade games is so comforting to them.
Yeah.
And that personally is just difficult. I see people use that place to get through losing relatives and friends and breakups and people getting over just drinking too much or having just problems. And this is like a time where people really need the place, and it's just hard to not be there, which is why we're so focused on doing live streams. We've done a live stream every single day since the people weren't allowed in. We've been still doing Monday Mystery. So every week we're still putting a new game on, and just really looking for, as soon as everybody's able to come back in, there's going to be new games. We've been going through every single machine in the arcade, doing nonstop play testing, and going to make it even bigger and better for when people come back in. So
that is great.
It's as well. There's so many other arcades that we're in touch with, and everybody's coping with it in different ways. And it's been interesting. There's been a lot of people that have stepped up and been doing, jumping on board, doing a lot more streaming, and trying to provide content about arcades, and just doing what they can to kind of fill that gap.
Sure.
Because while there's so many people have machines in their house, there's so many that don't. And again, it just can't be over soon enough.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, because a lot of us have our collections in our homes, and I read a comment from somebody who said, "Who else is having pinball withdrawal?" And I'm like, "Well, I have 3 pinball machines in my house, which isn't a lot." I know, Brian, you've got a few, right? How many do you have?
6 or 7. Well, 8, 9, something like that.
10, 12, I don't know. And then
11.
11. Our knobs go to 11. And Mark, how many do you have?
5 pinballs in the house and a Black Knight in storage that I regret putting in storage now.
Something happened. Wiggle the cord on your mic. So 5 or in the house.
Just a little bit.
There you go. So 5 in the house. Right.
You hear me now?
Nope. But that's okay. So, we can hear you, but it's very faint. So that's cool. It's the switch on the back of your mic again. Just wiggle it back and forth. So there you go.
How about now?
Perfect. So
son of a.
Yep, it's the switch. It's going bad.
Right.
You're gonna have to you're gonna have to replace the
I
switch or find
it
a new mic. So, that's cool. So five pins in the house and
5 pins in the Black Knight that I forgot.
Oh, 6. Okay, cool.
Yes.
So, having pinball withdrawal is a real thing, because pinball is so popular again right now. And how many pinball do you have in Galloping Ghost?
Galloping Ghost pinball, we're up to 40 pins.
Do you have a separate facility for that, or do you mix them in?
No, it is its own separate building. Back last March, we opened up an entire new building 2 blocks east of the arcade. We opened with what did we have? 27 pins.
That's pretty good.
And it added, got all the way up to 40 in less than a year. So
wow, that's a hella awesome little pinball parlor.
Yeah, we try to focus on, I don't have the knowledge base of pins that I do the video side.
Sure.
So it's very thematic, just stuff that I like. Twilight Zone.
Oh, yes.
We've got a lot of horror themed stuff. Creature from the Black Lagoon, Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Do you have a Monster Bash?
Monster Bash, absolutely. The Elvira trilogy, Aliens.
Aliens.
We have a one-of-one Predator.
Oh.
So when we also, as I love getting rare stuff at the arcade, we kind of fell into that side with the pinball stuff too, where we got a Joust and Varcon and Defender. And
speaking of rare pinball, didn't somebody just sell the Bill Paxton pinball?
I did. Yeah, I have not been pinball shopping. It's I'm pretty compulsive when I'm on the hunt, so right now I kind of hit the brakes on the pinball side, and
okay.
On the video side, it's so hard to buy stuff already. So
yeah.
So did you guys go through and play test all the pinballs as well? I know you said you did that with the arcades. Did you go through the pinballs?
Our pinball. So the three guys that work at pinball and our master tech Ken Walker, he's still been making it in there, and those guys are so on top of the pins that there's never anything down there. I never even get over to pinball to fix anything because it's all, they're so on top of it.
Nice.
So, and even...
Yeah, you got to wiggle that switch again. You're Metropolis just said, put some deoxit on that switch, Mark. You got to do that.
Yes, I'll be right back.
So that's
Doc, I was going to ask you. You went through and play tested the games. Were there any games that you're walking around trying to get stuff done? Were there any that like you got to and thought I haven't played this in a while and kind of caught you for a little longer than you expected?
Yeah, it's why it's taken like 2 weeks to get through them all, because it's hard to just check the angles and the buttons and be like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
There's everything in there. It's like I never get to play enough. I'll roll in at 6 a.m. and the main focus is always getting things ready. And it's weird with knowing that there's not going to be people there at the door at 11 o'clock. So
yeah.
I have time to play a bit more. So it's been great to play literally every machine that is there.
So what game was there? One game that like really you maybe spent a little longer than you should have, and a little longer than that, like didn't quite walk away from it?
It's funny. I keep going back. I was playing Boogie Wings, Great Ragtime Show, which I play tested it yesterday, but it was just on it today. So I've got the entire day. So it's hard to not just be jumping around.
Yep.
So I'm been all over Lunar Lander and Space Harrier, Galaxy Force 2, the Grid. It's just been Fallen Angels, Godzilla, Asteroids Deluxe. It's just constantly playing everything, and then it's like, oh, I got to go fix that. So
I think Mr. Peabody's asking if you got stuck on your exterminator.
I did.
Chris, what's up, dude? You were hijacking the chat with Exterminator? Come on. What the hell? Nobody wants to play that game. Nobody wants to play that game.
No, Doc is saying he did.
I love Exterminator just because I have... Yeah.
Adam hates the game.
It's a running joke here.
And so it's like every week I actually filmed the game and put it on the Arcade Radio channel just to harass Adam.
Blank you.
So
I saw that on there and was like, who is playing Exterminator? I'm thinking I'm the only one that likes it.
Oh, God, now there's two of you. Christ.
It's an amazing cabinet. It's such a creative game.
Yeah.
It is. What's like Exterminator?
It's great. When the developer of the game says he doesn't like it, that's not a win.
Oh,
that is not a win.
Hey, Billy Seven's got our back too.
Oh, Billy. I kind of hate you all of a sudden.
So Doc, one of the funny things is that the Gottlieb handles from that game turned up like in actually the full joystick turned up at a local store called Axemen. And when Gottlieb shut down, they had like hundreds of these evidently. And so I've had people locally like handing me like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this joystick. It's here, you can have this. So I have 1 or 2 extras sitting on the shelf now for when that goes down, because Adam plays on it too rough.
Good to know. Good to know that you've got spares.
But it's such a unique game. It's fun.
I'm really hoping we move on from this topic. I don't care what we talk about. Let's talk about Roadrunner. I don't care.
I was just playing that too.
So, Doc, in your struggles to go through everything and find all the problems and fix them, have you rediscovered any games that you love? And don't say Exterminator or Roadrunner, but like, have you discovered any new games that have been sitting around for a while and you're like, oh, I forgot how fun this is?
Yeah, tons. I was playing Operation Gunbuster and Dragon Gun this morning. And those were so huge when we put them out. And I spent years tracking down Dragon Gun and making that whole cabinet. I had one of my guys who his roommates are Chinese. And the only picture of this cabinet, the only lead on a board was a picture that popped up on Instagram that mentioned back in 2001, there was somebody in a mall in China, they had this game. So at 3 a.m, I have him calling malls in China, trying to find out where all the games are. And we went to great lengths to try to find this board, and so much effort to recreate all the artwork from one picture of the game and get the guns for it. We managed to track down everything that we needed. We put it out on the floor, and I played it a handful of times, and then it was just on to the next thing. And it's games like that, getting the time now to really, like, I'm enjoying the arcade more than I probably have in the last 8 years, just by going and getting to play everything.
That's awesome. Yeah. It sucks, but it's awesome. Like,
yeah.
And I've had a recent change in my house, and so my arcade is being reconfigured, if you will. But I've also been playing the games that are, I only have 20, but that's a lot for a dude to have in his house.
For sure.
And I've really been enjoying, like, I played Tempest like 7 times in the last 2 days. Yeah. And I never do that. And Tempest is a really good game that, it's one of those where you're like, I got it because it's iconic. I got it because people love to play it. But when you really get down to it and play the game, it is actually a super fun game, and it's worth having on its own merit. And there's no other way to play it but on the original machine. So you must be just having a blast with these machines.
I honestly, I think, I see how much people, just the casuals, there's the huge separation between the people that have machines in their house and that are really up on what's going on in the arcade community, and then the massive amount of casual players that love arcades.
Mm-hmm.
And those people get such enjoyment. And I watch like super collectors come in that just they're standing right next to this a holy grail game, and they're just kind of complacent. Same thing with a lot of our regulars. Like, we'll see the regulars come in, and it's just kind of the familiarity with it. They just become complacent to it. And back before I had the arcade, I had arcade machines that I had just stuff piled on, and I didn't play them, but once in a while somebody would come over and it's like, yeah, I'll click this on and enjoy it. But watching the casuals enjoy them has made me have just such a greater appreciation And especially now, it's like I want to play them all. One of my guys did a marathon stream, maybe this had to be like 4 years ago. He played every single game in the arcade. And this was it lasted, I think, it's either 38 hours or something like that, just playing 1 credit on every machine. And that was back when we had 400 machines and a bunch were down. Now we're 4 games away from having 100% of 764 machines running. And I'm really pondering, I want to play more, and maybe I'll run the gauntlet and just start playing everything, no sleep, just nonstop through 764 machines and see how long that takes.
What is the most egregious issue you found with a game? Like, you're like, I can't believe I've let this sit on the floor in this state for so long. What's the worst thing you found so far?
The thing there's been a handful that have just bothered me for a while. The brake on Super Hang-On got ripped off forever ago.
Oh.
And it was one of those, it's playable, but and finally took care of it this morning. I had to have the whole thing re-welded. So it's one by one. By the time it's over, there'll be I remember every single machine and that needs to be fixed and that could be better and that bezel needs to be adjusted and that marquee is not sitting properly and the T-molding's popping off on that cabinet. And it's so nice to have that list going down so quick and to have it all on paper. I try to do lists all the time, but now it's been so instrumental because it's finally time to knock every minor thing. We're good with making sure sticks and buttons are all working 100%. But
so if you keep track of all this and you keep a list, can you write it off at the end of the year as a business expense?
Everything's a business expense.
Right.
It's like that place, all the money that it makes, like we see 80,000 people through the doors. So it does well.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so much wear and tear on that place that it's the amount of repairs to make it as good as it is just the repair costs are astronomical.
Yeah.
When you get to stuff where we're having sticks like molded and recast just so that we can fix a game that has a one-of-a-kind stick.
Yeah.
And nothing else will do because that's what is expected and that's what we don't want to be giving less than the best. So that's what we shoot for.
A long time ago, I had designs on making sidetrack here. The Tron Cocktail and the Firefox Cabaret and some of the other Bally games that had a trigger joystick used this small red Pac-Man-like joystick that had a trigger on the front.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a pain. You can't find it anywhere. So you can reproduce something like that?
Yeah, like we reproduced the stick from Blaster.
Okay.
And we have a wooden blaster that we picked up, and we put it on the floor. We had Eugene Jarvis out, we had Larry DeMar out, and it was an amazing, fun time having them come out and see it.
Yeah.
George Petro came out, and that stick was used on Inferno as well.
Okay.
And we started working on Inferno, and it's like, well, nobody has this. Like, what are we going to do? So we gave it to our guy, Ken Coy, and it's optical. So we 3D printed the sliders that are on the bottom of it, cobbled it all together using the Arch Rivals optical sticks. And it was so important to make it every button had to be the right red. The spring steel for the triggers had to be the exact right spring steel. It had to have the right tension. And we had Eugene Jarvis playing it, and he didn't even know it was a repro. And it's like, that's exactly what we want.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
Eugene.
As critical as Eugene Jarvis should be, the collectors out there are 1,000 times worse. Like, where if it's not perfect, we're going to hear about it.
Right.
And so just to not hear about it, you have to do it right. So, but we love getting projects where it's going to be so difficult. Just because the guys here have done so many things. We've done it for 10 years. And unless it's like, this is a challenging project, like just a stick that I can hand off to my guy, just go make this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It just gets done.
But
Nice.
So at one time I thought it'd be really cool to make translucent blue cabaret cocktail joysticks for the Ballytron. That would be so sweet if somebody did that.
Yeah.
Except for I don't have it anymore.
We can do it.
That'd be super
Nice. Aaron Sanders in the chat is looking for a blaster stick.
cool.
Is that a tough one to repro?
The blaster stick, we've got a few of the shells because we did such a small run, and this is the big problem. Like, how many blasters are out there? How many Infernos are out there?
Not a lot.
No. So we can make them, but it's how much they're just expensive.
Right.
And for me, I love helping out people restore their games. And I remember not too long ago, somebody was like, we just give stuff away. And it drives my guys crazy. They're like, what did you just give away? It's like, it's an Operation Wolf gun. Like,
Oh.
And they're like, why aren't you selling that? And it's like, well, he needed it.
Yeah.
But this stuff it's pricey. So it's hard to,
Sure.
For me, we've got them. I don't even like saying how much they cost, because it's like, we paid for them to have them made. And then it was like, that expense is fine just because 80,000 people a year are going to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
What do you got there, Mark?
This is my Adamus Wave that I bought from Doc's first auction that he held, and it comes with a gun, and I forget the game that's in here. Do you recall which one it is?
Is it Sports Shooting USA?
I think it's something else, but thank you. I cannot wait.
Ranger Mission.
Ranger Mission, yes. So I'm very happy to have this. I covet this. I'm like, So that was very awesome. I love your auctions. Those are super fun. How are you still doing those?
We haven't lately. The big problem, like, we've got so many boards. We've got 500 boards sitting around, and it's tough. Like, we've got the price on them again. It's we don't want to lose money on stuff, but like, we've got a Nemesis board sitting there that it's like, I don't want it. It's got to go out. It's better off in somebody else's hands where it's going to get played, but I don't want to get $200 for it.
Right.
Right.
And I don't take the time to just post. We just started a group on Facebook where we're supposed to be posting stuff for sale, and we've just got so much stuff and duplicate cabinets. Like, we've had this beautiful food fight cabinet sitting here forever.
Oh.
And all original, except for the marquee, which we've got a reproduction or on glass. Monitor's beautiful, but it's just sitting here. And it kills me. I want people to be using it and playing it, and I want the space, and we can take that cash and put that towards the next expansion at the arcade. But
right.
Yeah.
So
I just saw Jasnik was selling Star Trek board sets working for $550. That's a lot.
Were those working board sets, or was he selling? Because he was selling a bunch of stuff.
No,
Just
they were
extras.
working. It was working and tested, burned in. I've got four sets of Star Trek boards. I should sell them.
There you go. I have another question. What video online do you find draws people mostly to your arcade? Because I know there's a bunch of sites and all that stuff.
Angry Video Game Nerd was huge coming out. Maximilian was huge. A lot of people reference John's Arcade.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's so many. Like our Primal Rage 2 video has grabbed a lot of people. The Combat Cons and Shang Tsung Fight Nights videos are big draws too. So
interesting.
I have a couple of friends that subscribe to your Monday night reveal.
Oh yeah, I do too on Facebook. Yeah. I love it.
Thank you. It's fun.
I love the repeats too, because it's like I missed it. I don't even have to think about it. I just see the repeat. Like, keep doing that. That is a great idea.
It was interesting when we got our Twitch affiliation. We used to dual stream on Facebook and Twitch, but now we can't. So we do the rebroadcast on Tuesday on Facebook. And we're gearing up to add a lot more production value to it. We've got a new intro and everything with Tim Kitzrow from NBA Jam, and
oh wow!
So it's
that'll be fun.
Cool. Yeah.
Where can we tune into that?
The live broadcast is you can just look up Galloping Ghost Arcade on Twitch, twitch.tv/Galloping Ghost Arcade, or we do the rebroadcast on Facebook on our arcade page. Usually,
one of the. Go ahead.
Usually, I'm in the stream chat or Pete Hahn is in the stream chat for the rebroadcast. So I can still talk to everybody.
Our chatter, Christopher Graham, says he asks it every week on Twitch, but when are you getting a Gal's Panic on the floor?
That's the thing. You never know what is going to go on the floor. We don't tell. There's days where the guys here don't know what it is. And that's kind of the fun. It used to be so different when we were putting up 20 games at a time. But that was so overwhelming to a lot of the players. Like they would miss. They would just like, oh, you've put up. Even same thing when we do an expansion. Like we put up Starblade and Golly Ghost and all these like top tier games. And most of the regulars don't get to them because they're so focused on going after other scores. And they just kind of don't ever find them, which is crazy. But the problem that happens when there's so many games.
One of the chatter, Sean Richter, was saying, what about Doc Mack's game Dark Presence?
Dark Presence. So our production guys have been working on Dark Presence forever. And it was supposed to go on the floor on April 4th, which was just so hard for our guys because everything is, can't have people in. So we're so close. We showed it at C2E2. We got a great response from, it was definitely a more casual crowd because when everything was closing down, we had the LCQ Last Chance Qualifier. That tournament, that giant Mortal Kombat tournament was canceled. So everybody traveled in and they all ended up here. And we had this huge tournament, just an impromptu tournament that we set up in like 2 days. And turnout was amazing, but we had a lot of the pros come play it. And they were totally digging it. And then
that's cool.
A little bit before that, we had Nivik, who's a huge MK11 player out in Greece. He was in town, and he was on it for 4 hours. So we just cannot wait to get it on the arcade floor for everybody. It's been such cool. It started 10 years before the arcade started, and
this is the one that you're a character in.
Yes.
Nice.
What's the name of your character?
I actually play a few. I play Trenton, Wilson, and Vale. So
nice.
the two twins and a masked character.
So. We have some people in the chat bragging about how many times they've been in person for a game reveal. Aaron Sanders says he's been there for at least 3 of them. So
that is awesome.
And another question from Chris Peabody, which I think we asked last time, but what are the top games? I don't know how you measure this because everything's on free play, but what do you see getting played the most at your arcade?
It's been like the grid is always packed. There's some key spots that really show, like we moved NBA Jam is always getting played, but we moved it up in front, and that front spot, whatever we put there is getting played.
Sure.
Anything like the previous Last Monday Mystery.
Yeah.
That's always a given. Spectre Files has been, which is a game that we produced with Brian Colin, who did Rampage, has been getting... We weren't sure who was going to play it because it's not like anything else. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure. And it's literally... I don't even like to talk about how much play it gets because it sounds like we're talking it up.
Sure.
But it really stands out as something that there's a crowd around it, like constantly on the weekend.
Are there any YouTube videos of that we could go watch?
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome.
It's it was supposed to be a Laserdisc game that Brian started back in 1984, and it got canceled because NFL football came out, and they had that on a CED disc, and you'd bump the cabinet, the needle would jump, it would spike the disc, and you'd have a giant brick.
Oh.
And super expensive game. So because of that, they canceled Brian's project right after he finished filming. And he was trying to work with our production company on another game. I was at having breakfast with Brian Colin and Jeff Lee, who the artist and the guy who created Qbert.
Mm-hmm.
And he started telling me about this game, Spectre Files. And I was like, we'll do your other game, but we have to include doing Spectre Files. Because if at the time he didn't know if he even had all the film, because it was shot on 16 millimeter.
Oh, man.
So we took it all back. We reproduced the cabinet that NFL football was in, and we did a limited run. And we've got them out at other arcades right now, Level 419 in Ohio, and Game Galaxy, and Galactic Arcade, which used to be Game Grid out in Utah. So it's great to have them all out and about and getting played. But yeah, that is one that it's surprising how much play it gets.
Sean Richter in the chat says that he's totally hooked on Monday Night Mystery Arcade, and he's hoping you start a monthly mystery pinball.
Ooh.
So we do Friday mysteries. We do a Friday mystery game if we're putting out a pinball machine, but they're so expensive.
Yeah. Do it once a month maybe or something.
Yeah.
Even at that, the prices on them, it's funny, the first...
it's 10 times what you might pay for a video game.
Yeah. We've spent more at pinball getting 40 machines than we have getting 764 machines.
Oh my God. So the last time we talked to you, you had 650. So you've added 100 and some odd games to your collection.
Just 2 years ago. That's 100 weeks.
Wow. That is crazy. That is amazing.
It adds up.
Yeah, where are you going to put games?
Do you have like a list of... I'm sorry to interrupt you, but do you have a list of games that you're looking to add that you're actively seeking out?
The list is so short right now. I used to compulsively search for games. It was like it took up such a huge amount of time, and it got to the point I would tell the guys that like Jeremy Fox and Uday Kumra, these guys that have other arcades, Jerry Colonna. I spend hours and hours and hours every day looking, and there's nothing for me to buy. And I literally walked away from even trying, because we've got 203 games in the vault right now.
Oof.
The games that we want, there's 17 games on my list of games that I'm looking for, but they're unobtainable, like Time Gal.
Unobtainable. Oh, Time Gal. Okay.
Like, even if we had briefcase full of money sitting here, I can't just go out and give it to whoever to give me a Time Gal. There's just none of them out there. An R360 or Revenge of the Ninja or Last Survivor, like any of these, just like there's 763 on the floor. There's 203 in the vaults.
Right. And then there's the 17 like impossibles.
Isn't there a woman on Facebook that started an R360 group? I mean, there's an R360 fan group.
There is.
That thing only played like 3 games, right?
Yeah.
And one of them was an Afterburner, you know, I mean, it was a Sega game, so.
And I love Sega stuff. I used to collect, before I collected arcade stuff, I collected Genesis. I had every commercially released Sega Genesis game. I had 700 games back when they were coming out.
They were exciting games.
Amazing stuff. But R360 is one. That would be one, if I found it, the person's going to ask for $100,000 for it.
And then you're gonna have to have a waiver that people sign when they play it.
Well, and yeah, that's one. If we ever got one, we deal with that problem. I mean, we'll figure it out. But
can't somebody
when you get there?
Can't somebody just make you like the custodian of the game? Like for 5 years, you're the custodian, and then.
So even with that, we've had people offer to lend us games, and I worry so much about getting something rare, and if it's somebody else's property,
right?
I don't feel comfortable with it.
Like, by the way, listeners, if you're not aware what an R360 is, look it up. It's amazing. It's basically like Afterburner environment cabinet, except for it's able to do a 360-degree loop forward and sideways. It's crazy. Yeah. And I think there might have been a waiver you had to sign to play that thing.
It has like a standing attendance station that comes with it, with a monitor.
Yeah, it's like a ride. It was like a carnival ride.
We got Galaxy Force 2, and when I got that, it was I've heard they were $124,000 when they came out. And we picked it up. We got one for $500.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
And it took forever to get it to work.
So that's the thing that's a big game with the chrome bars that go all around.
Yeah.
It's
that's near the entrance, right?
Yeah, and you step into it. It's like a spaceship. My buddy Joe Lease, who was on the first season of this show, an operator, had one in his barn, and he offered it to me, probably for what you paid. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with that thing, because it's way too big. So he sold it to some guy for way more money overseas. And I'm glad, because he deserves the money, but it's just like, that is a ultra rare game.
We got it working. We put it out at our Sega tournament that we do. We put out 10 new Sega games, and Galaxy Force 2 was one.
Mm-hmm.
And literally the first day, they're playing it, and everybody's going to town on it.
Oh, no.
Something underneath it, a wire snapped, arc welded to the side of the machine, and just was shooting sparks everywhere.
Oh, man.
Blew out all the motors, blew everything out. And we're like, okay, well, we're going to have to rebuild everything. It took probably a year and a half to get it to where it should have ran.
Yeah.
And then we just found another pretty much fully working one for $500.
Yeah. So I love that is insane. All right, so I have a couple more questions to wrap up with. Mark, did you have something you wanted to ask?
I think I'm good right now. Well, so when you went through all of the machines and did all the testing, and I know this is sort of self-serving because I just got a Holocene. Which of the 4 dudes do you pick when you play Holocene, or do you care? Do you just the first one? Does it matter to you?
I normally pick the Wushu guy.
The Wushu guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He seems a little tougher to me.
Now, was Holocene a conversion kit, or was that a dedicated?
So it was the same cabinet as Time Traveler.
Yep.
And why that game seems so rushed is because all the Laserdisc players started failing.
Sure.
So everybody was calling Sega, like, what are you selling us? We have this cabinet that is useless now. We can't convert it to anything.
And it's a giant cabinet.
Yeah, it's huge. Parabolic mirror underneath it, and it's like, what are you supposed to do with it? So because fighting games were just kicking up in popularity, they were like, here's a JAMA-based fighting game. Tear all the Time Traveler stuff out, and you can
convert it
to Holocene.
Cool.
So
you could go back to Time Traveler if you had some weird sickness that you wanted to do.
I could, but I mean, come on, it's a Holocene. That seems like even rarer than Time Traveler to me. But now I just need a Time Traveler.
And I just love the fact that it has a Sony Trinitron monitor. It comes with a remote.
That is so weird. Yeah, mine had the remote and the adapter for the coax. I was like, this is weird. Like, why is all this stuff back here?
Yeah, and like it should have come with instructions on how to watch TV from inside the cabinet. So big, you could have used it as a little theater. Yeah. All right, so I have a couple more questions to wrap up with. I really want to thank you for being on the show. But okay, so we already asked. Obviously you're keeping busy during the pandemic. What do you most? I mean, obviously you're looking forward to the place opening and the traffic. But can you pinpoint something that you're really looking forward to once this is all done?
Definitely it's our 10-year anniversary in August, and we have this huge bash. It's an entire week of things going on. We've got our August 7th, 8th, and 9th. We've got our T20 tournament. That Monday, we've been mentioning it on the Monday Mystery Show for a while. That Monday is going to be the most mind-blowing Monday Mystery game we've ever done.
Oh!
And without question.
We need to tune in, chatters. Everybody tune in.
That is, it's the one, do not miss it. If you can be at the arcade, be at the arcade.
I might have to get a ticket on the train, come down to Chicago. We've been talking about doing an arcade radio train trip.
I would come up there. I would break quarantine.
Oh, it'd be so good.
But hey, yeah.
So like that month, then we're doing the anniversary on that Thursday the 13th, and then Saturday we're doing an event where August 15th, where we're having we're packing the place out with industry legends. The legends of the industry will be there. The legends of Mortal Kombat will be there. We're gonna have a bunch of internet or YouTube celebrities in, and we're gonna be trying to do the most people playing arcade games at one time.
Oh,
so
nice.
That one.
Very cool.
Followed by some high score runs.
We'll see how the grid handles it.
Yeah, right.
Hey, do you have like a cool black mask that you're ready to wear, like in case you need to go somewhere where mask is required?
Wait,
what do you got?
Does it match his gloves? That's what I want to know.
We were 3D printing these. Again, we were 3D printing mask visors all throughout. As soon as we heard the hospitals were on shortage, that we just started cranking them out on the 3D printer. So
nice.
See, that would be awesome. I would buy a Galloping Ghost black type of, Mortal Kombat inspired mask.
We were just talking about putting the logo on one recently.
That would be amazing.
It looks a little like Bane's mask.
Site,
so. Okay, I'll check it out.
Okay, well, Doc, everybody knows where to go on Twitch. Thanks for that. Find him on Facebook. Look for the Monday Night Mystery Game. And I just want to say thank you for coming on the show and telling us that things are not so shitty if you work on your arcade while this stuff's going on, because it is really terrible to have to be isolated. It's fun to talk to somebody who's making good use of the time. And I wish you the best of luck in the next couple of months and a super strong startup. You should have a grand reopening of Galloping Ghosts. I think it would be fantastic. So, guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for tonight. That means we got to read some stuff.
I'm ready.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, and this has been the Double R's. That's Arcade Radio.
And I lost my sheet again.
We're going to see you next week, so hang in there.
I got it. Wait, like us on Facebook.com at Arcade Radio, or check us out on the semi-regularly updated blog at arcaderadio.com. That's RcadeRadio.com.
Call and leave comments, especially if you are a prison warden, at the game line 612-548-GAME. That's 4263.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the notification bell so you'll know when we're streaming live. It's right there.
Yeah, you could just subscribe. So,
Adam realized he started to read my line. You can also subscribe to our podcast on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play Music, and wherever podcasts are streamed.
That's going to be it for the show. Doc, hang around for a couple seconds and we'll finish up. From the Arcade Radio team, we hope you had a great time, and we will see you on the next episode, which happens to be next week.
Oh my gosh. Are we going to have another, like a bar thing again? Are we going to do that?
I don't know. I've got a couple of ideas, and I did reach out to a couple people.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe an ice cream parlor. Who knows?
Oh, I have to buy ice cream to join your Zoom? I see how it is.
Oh, this is the time when we take off our pants.
Dance.